So in this video, we're going to be going over every single weapon, every single structure, and every single tool that you can get in Genesis. Guys, go ahead and hit the like button if you found yourself enjoying this one, and let me know down in the comments which one is your favorite. So we're going to start out with weapons, and first of all, we have the Tech Grenade Launcher. This thing is amazing. There's 6 types of grenades in the game right now. We have Poison, Tech, Primitive, Cluster, Smoke, and Gravity. And this thing can hold 6 grenades in its magazine all at once. As you can see, the poison grenade's in there right now. If I go ahead and hit left click, I could shoot that one, or I could hit right click and actually cycle between them and pick which one I want to shoot. But you can just keep hitting it and just continuously shoot. It's really awesome. If you, right now it's actually cooling down. As you can see, it's going to reload them in 1 second. There we go. And it picked that one. I can cycle between and choose which one I want to use though, which is amazing. You can also hold down control and you can have a couple different options in here. You can change what appears in which slot, and you can also change what appears in all of the slots. So if I only want one type of grenade, I could go ahead and say, hey, just tech grenades. And then that's going to go ahead and load up with a bunch of tech grenades in just 1 second. And there we go. And we have 6 tech grenades, and we could just bombard those at our enemy. So next up, we have the tech claws. These things do not go into your glove slot. They actually go on your hotbar, and they look very cool. We've got left click, which is attacks, and then we've got right click, which is a block, as you can see. Now, when you're attacking, it doesn't really seem to do that much damage, but if you continuously attack, you get much quicker. And as you can see, I have a status effect called maximum blade power. So I'm attacking way quicker right now. This is awesome looking. And you can also see they glow up just a little bit too. They lost their glow right now though. I think that's probably a bug to do with like going back into first person or something. Let's try and get that going again. There we go. You can see I'm charging it up, and now we have it. Amazing. Yeah, I seem to lose that glow when I go into first person for some reason. So next up, we have the Tech Shoulder Cannon. This thing goes into your shield slot, and you can activate it by holding down E and hitting activate. So as you can see, it's got some nice little animations, and it kind of just floats there. There's a couple different modes here. We've got different ranges, so let's set it to long. We've got different target types. We're going to set it to wild. And we've got different fire modes. So currently that's on standard mode. That's kind of like a mid-range one. This one here is kind of like a sniper, and then this one here is kind of like a submachine gun. So less damage and high fire rate, more damage and low fire rate, and then obviously that's just kind of standard. So let's go ahead and spawn in some dodos here. Let's just spawn in a bunch of them, and you guys will see it's starting to target some of the dodos. So you can go ahead and just hit E, and it's going to basically shoot at them. I do believe it actually shoots by itself occasionally, but I don't really seem to be able to get it to do that much. Go on, shoot him. Shoot him. It's not doing it. Let's hit E. There we go. I actually hit E that time, and it did it. Nice. So let's change up the fire mode now. So we're going to change that to rapid. And you can see it actually, it changes just a little bit whenever you change its fire mode. So it's on standard right now, and it just kind of transforms and becomes smaller for rapid fire mode. Nice. Let's go ahead and spawn in a bunch of dodos here. There's also a different target as well, which is very nice actually. Just get it to start murdering all these dodos. So this is going to be a little bit less accurate as well, obviously. Come on, kill the dodos. There you go. As you can see, it's not one-shotting them anymore. And now let's go ahead and switch it to the sniper mode. So overcharge. Oh, that is very cool looking. Oh my god, yes. That is a big blast. Oh man, yeah, this is gonna be amazing. I love this. Like, you can become Predator, you can become like Wolverine in this DLC. Oh man, this is awesome. So next up, we have the cruise missile. This is a one-time use item, and it is very, very powerful. You can go ahead and hit right-click, and you can write in a message. So subscribe and like. And let's pop that in. Let's go ahead and shoot this thing by hitting left-click. We're going to gain control of this missile. We can also actually just exit this mode and let it just travel on its path, or we can control it fully. It might actually be a good way of scanning the area, although it would be very, very expensive at the same time. You can see me back there, so it actually highlights players and teams and everything. Let's crash it into this right here. Oh, it didn't even work. Oh, wow, you can actually fly it in the water as well. I had never even tested that because I never even thought about that one. Let us properly crash it into this platform right here. We can hit E as well and just let it blow up. And I want to see how much damage it did to this platform. I'm kind of curious about the message. I assume that it would probably say in your Triblog or whatever, if it killed you, what the message said. But as you can see there, it did like 50,000 damage to this right here, which is just a huge amount of damage. You can probably just ruin bases with this stuff. I don't know if turrets can blow it up, but I imagine they probably can't. So it's definitely going to change up PvP just a little bit. But let's go ahead and shoot another one here and just crash it into the metal. Okay, so we're going to crash it into R1 here. Boom. Oh my god. That is a very, very large blast radius. And it blew up all of those foundations. Doesn't look like it damaged these ones for some reason, but that is kind of crazy. So next up we have the mining drill. This thing is very awesome. As you can tell from the name, you go around and mine with it. You can activate it like that and then just hold down a left click and you can harvest up a bunch of materials. These materials also get a weight reduction once you harvest with this. I do not believe that if you used a pickaxe and harvested a bunch of stone and metal that it would have that weight reduction. So that's really nice. Although if you do drop the item, you'll see, as you can see right there, bam, we dropped it and they are back up to their regular weight. This thing's run on gas just like the chainsaw, and it can also actually be used on players and creatures as well. Let's go ahead and use it on this Kentro. Not sure how effective it would be, but it does stun them a little bit. Oh, wow, we actually did kill that Kentro, although it was just a low level. So this is really going to help out whenever you want to go around harvesting things. It can actually also, like, harvest up the berries as well, which is interesting. So something really awesome that this thing can do is that it can actually stun the flyers and force them to land, as you can see. And you could probably use that a good bit to try and trap some RGs or even griffins. So next up we have the fishing net. You can use these items near water and you basically just target it and throw it like that. It spreads out and it grabs a bunch of fish. Now sometimes, as you can tell like this, it's actually kind of hard to get the fish to come to you. They're really not, they're not giving up there, are they? I do not think they are. I'm kind of a little bit confused. Do I like let them go out a little bit and then reel them back in more and just kind of tire them out? It seems like it's, I don't know. It's just not very clear to me right there. I don't know. Now they're like all the way over there and it breaks. And that is what you do when you actually do not catch a fish. I'll show you what you do when you do catch a fish by catching this little fella right here. There we go. Yes. So we get like a little kind of little fist pump type thing. Now let's catch another one. So I don't think that you really get too much rare loot from these guys, but I assume if you caught a bunch of them together, you probably would. I'm just very unclear about how you actually do that. I'll probably need to take a huge look at this stuff and figure it all out. Nice. So we've got the ocean platforms, which is very, very exciting. You can only place a certain amount in a certain area. It's the same for both metal and the wood. And speaking of metal and the wood, there is the wood. Here is the metal. Now, the wooden one is roughly the size of the center of the metal one. Kind of gives you a bit of a scale of them. We will be going over exactly how many walls long they are, though, in just a second. But in terms of health on them, the wooden one has 100,000 and the metal one has 140,000. Although, obviously, the metal one will be able to resist against different damages that the wooden one can't. Now, I gotta say, they look really good, especially the wooden one. I love this kind of texture right here. This is awesome looking. Both of these platforms come equipped with 4 ladders on the inside, and that's basically how you get out of the water. You're probably able to snap some ramps if you want to as well, but yeah, you can see them right here on the metal one. You can also snap some portable ladders to the outside, but I don't think you can actually snap any other type of ladder, unless maybe you could build across there and then place something. In terms of building on these platforms, you're not able to build walls on the very outside, which I'm kind of disappointed about, but you're able to build them on the inside, except for over here. For some reason, they're snapping correctly over here, and then here they are just not. So I kind of feel like this might be a bug for the moment, so I guess we're gonna have to wait and see about that one. You can, however, place yourself some fence foundations to get your proper walls in and enclose this whole area. I think that would be really nice, actually, enclosing the center and then completely encasing the top and the sides, and then just completely just living inside of here and only leaving through the bottom. That would be awesome. You are able to snap ceilings onto the inside, but you do not seem to be able to snap foundations. They actually said in a live stream that you would be able to, but maybe they just misspoke. You can, however, for some reason, place foundations like randomly around it, Like, I can place some over here. I can't place any along here because they're kind of snapping to that snap point. I can place some right here. So if you wanted to, you could actually also just line the outside with proper foundations. The wooden platform has a hole of 8 by 8, and the outer part right here is 3. Then this side over here is 3. So this whole thing is 14 by 14 in foundations. Pretty good. Now, using that, because that pretty much looks like it could fit in here, this thing right here is 20 by 20 because of the 14 in the center and then the 3 on each edge. But I will just double check and make sure that it is 14 in the center. Yes, I can confirm it is 14 by 14 in the center. That one right there could literally fit on the inside of this one, but you just can't place it. When these platforms get destroyed, they completely just sink into the bottom of the ocean and then despawn. So next up, we have the tech jump pad. This thing is very, very cool. It's activated. It's got some nice animations, and it's got a bunch of different settings in here. We got toggle size to big, and then if you click that, you can change it to small. I would assume that's to do with the target that's going to be bounced off of this. We've got force up, and that goes by around 9 each time. And we got force down. As you can see, the lights actually change depending on the force. So without even knowing anything about one of these, you might actually be able to tell roughly how far it's going to push you. It's very, very fun, by the way. You can actually almost continuously land on it. It pushes you slightly to the side and stuff. But you could probably place a bunch of them around, just make like a little bouncing house. It's got a bunch more options in here. We'll just go over some of them here. So we can rotate the pitch down and pitch up. So as you can see, and we can rotate it back down to that if we want to, and that actually pushes back down once it's flat. Then we also have rotate down sights. So this essentially will go whichever way you're facing. So I'm going to click that option again. Boom, changes to that side. And then obviously we can rotate it up and down a little bit if we want to basically get a perfect angle. So let's change it one more time. Want to go that side. We're going to rotate down by just a few. We've also got another option here for an indicator. It's going to show you the path at which you're going to travel, but it's a little bit glitchy. As you can see, when I'm not looking directly at it, it doesn't show it for me, but when I do look at it, I can actually see the line right there. So let's go ahead and let's show this off just a little bit. So you can see roughly the same path right there, actually. Very accurate. Let me go ahead and just pump up the force to full so you guys will see. I don't think I could even see. Oh, yeah, you can actually see the line way over to the left there where it's going to put me. So I'm not going to let it shoot me into the water the full way, but you can see, man, this is crazy. Oh my God, these things are going to be so fun. I'm going to make a little house for these, and I do believe they can actually snap onto walls. Give me one sec. So as you can see, you can snap them to walls or even to ramps as well, which is very, very great. Oh man, we're gonna have so much fun with this stuff. So next up, we have the pressure plate. There's also a tech version of this. It's called the tech sensor. We're gonna be taking a look at that too. The pressure plate, you can only have 2 of them in a certain area, and it's roughly the same size as a ceiling, though it does not snap to a ceiling, unfortunately. You can set these up with pin-coded structures, so I have this one set up with that door over there. It's gonna open whenever anybody stands on it, and it's gonna stay open until it's stood on again. So, bam. I could stay standing on it as well if I wanted to, and bam. Very, very cool. I feel like this is really going to step up everybody's game in terms of like taming traps and just different things. You could have it set up to more things than just doors, by the way. Obviously, you could have it set up to turrets, like I have over here with this tech sensor. This one's also set up with the door with a different option, where whenever anybody enters the area, it's going to start opening, and once they leave, it's going to close. So I could basically just do this. They're going to like slightly turn on for a second and close, or I could just stay in there. And as you can see, the gate's open and the turret is on. It's very, very cool. So honestly, this is really going to revolutionize the taming traps, because you could just have one of these just sitting inside of a little pen. Once the creature runs through after it's chased you in, you could have it just close the gate behind it, and then bam, your creature's trapped. Like, you don't have to run around and try to close that gate. Seriously, very, very cool option, and I'm so glad that we finally have these types of things in Ark. We have 2 new types of trophies to decorate our walls with in this DLC. We have the Mooter trophies, which come in Gamma, Beta, and Alpha variants. Very, very nice. We also have a new flag for Mooter as well. And over here, we have the Controller. This is the final boss of this DLC. I did a video on him if you want to go ahead and check it out, but you only have one version of this trophy. From what I could tell, I mean, I've tried different versions of the spawn code, but there does not seem to be 3 variations, though there might actually be. I don't know. This is the inside. It looks really, really strange. And we also get a nice snazzy flag for that as well. And we actually get a head skin for the controller. So that is very nice. This basically just goes onto a normal hat, and I think it looks really good, actually. So last but not least, we have the Tech Hover Skiff. This is a vehicle, and it has some stats right here. So it's got 10,000 health and then 16,000 weight. So that's the most weight on anything I've seen so far. Although I think mechs have a good amount too. You gotta power this thing using element, and this is it in its landed state. Let's go ahead and press space and take off. And then, yeah, we can kind of just fly around on this thing. Now, funny fact, this is the only way that you can fly in Genesis, because flyers are actually disabled. So, yeah, you do not get the chance to use anything else besides this to fly around. You can press space to go up, C to go down, and obviously shift works to make you go a little bit faster. One really awesome thing that I can do, though, let me show you. I gotta find something probably small. You can hit right click and target creatures, and it actually works on most creatures, I do believe. Let's target that little stego right there, and we can pull him up using a tractor beam. So we're holding down right click right now, and we're gonna pull him up, and now he's stuck. He cannot get out of there. Now we can hit left click and throw him, or we could just hop off and we could just like tame him. You know, he's stuck in there. We could just like hop off and start shooting him with some tranks if we wanted to. Let me get back into my skiff there. There we go. Or, you know, you could go ahead and just shoot him around. So there's like a little marker on the ground. I don't know how to get that to like move properly, but if you hold forward, you can actually just kind of get it a little bit in front of you. And then if you hit left click, it shoots the stego or whatever the hell you have in that direction. So it's a way of like throwing creatures around, but you could also probably just pick up other people's tames and bring them to the volcano using this. So yes, that is the Tech Hover Skiff. Technically a creature at the same time as being a vehicle, but I would count it more as like a vehicle item. It's pretty good. It's actually kind of fast as well, so I don't know if that's like faster than most flyers. It definitely feels faster than like pretty much everything. You could probably glide a little bit faster using a griffin or a snow owl, but I don't know, it's pretty good. So that is it for this video. If you guys have enjoyed it, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe if you guys want to see more awesome Genesis content, and I've already put out a bunch of videos if you want to check them out, and I'll catch you in the next one.